I'm actually curious about this. This is a couple of days old, but you know what? I don't care because I'm a couple of years old. But except for a lot more than a couple. Anyway, this is like a little Joel video, which is I like him almost as much as Big Joel, but it's about MrBeast. I'm curious. So apparently little Joel said MrBeast was a bad guy. I don't know. I'm curious. It's pretty quick. It says, "Is MrBeast evil?" Question mark. Let's go.
So Mr. Beast recently made a video where he took a guy through various games so that he could win a bunch of money. Each game he played, he got $100,000, but
nice
if he
CGI.
lost any of the games, he would lose all the money. So he's going along, he wins a ton of money.
So, okay, it's like a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
And then I think at the eighth at the eighth game, he loses everything, and MrBeast throws him $100,000, but it's a sad ending.
Oh, okay, well that's nice. So he got 100K. Cool.
Today, I want to talk about a tweet that I saw that I just found a little bit fascinating. For the record, I think this person is young. In their bio, it says they're 18. I'm not trying to dunk on them. I'm not trying to make them feel like shit, but I just found it really interesting.
I would.
The tweet thread reads, "This is the saddest I've ever felt after a MrBeast video. He genuinely pushed a man to the brink of his own tattered reality and dangled money in front of his face. It's so gross. He's using the working class for entertainment and always has. He provides the idea of hope, and yet he could rip it away at any moment. It's hard to believe he truly cares about what he's producing. I watch every video because they keep me grounded in reality. It genuinely is one of the best looks ever about the human condition. People willing to tear themselves apart or push themselves beyond their limits for a little money and attention." It goes on like this.
Okay. I mean, listen, I feel bad for the guy too, that he did all these games and he won all these challenges and then he didn't get all the money that he earned. And MrBeast still threw him some money, so that was nice of him. That's cool. But what the fuck are you babbling about? If you don't like it, and I'm not a big fan either. It sounds kind of weird as like a really rich guy to make YouTube videos, having like middle class people or whatever go through a bunch of events to make money. Like it's weird to me. I don't particularly care for it, so I just don't watch it. Right? Like that's how a normal person interacts with stuff they don't particularly care for. I don't think MrBeast is a bad guy, but I don't particularly like the concept of it. Yeah, sure, maybe it does seem a little bit cruel. I don't necessarily disagree, but also you don't always have to talk about that on the internet. I'm only talking about it to be like, yeah, I get it, but not every one of our feelings is something that we need to express to people. Oh, I feel like I guess you can, you're allowed to do whatever you want. I just don't watch. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't think MrBeast is going out of his way to be like, I'm gonna fucking, I can't wait to have this guy do this event and I hope he loses. I'm gonna shoot wafts of wind at him without him knowing from different directions to distract him from the victory. I'm a fucking goblin. That would be fucking crazy. That would actually be fucking, I mean, if he gets exposed for that, I mean, then holy moly. But yeah, whatever.
There's a little bit more, but you get the idea.
Sure.
I found this just like extremely odd. This person is acting like what MrBeast is doing is like novel, that he's like some rich fuck crazy guy who's doing this unheard of formula.
He is kind of, if you think about it though, he is a little bit of like a fucking crazy guy. But no, this isn't something that we've been doing for like 50 years, right? We have Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and all these other bullshit shows. I mean, this is kind of, like normalized. Having people do events for money, right?
For making content, whereas in reality, like it's a game show. It's just he just did a game show on YouTube, right? Does this person watch an episode of Survivor and then when the person loses, they're like, fucking hell, man, come the fuck on. This person came out wanting to win $1 million and then didn't. And that show.
Well, that's my thing. What's interesting? I think that people care less about stuff like Survivor because there's no person attached to it that's leading it, if that makes sense, right? MrBeast runs these events. It's MrBeast. It's a person. It's personal. He's a human being. He has thoughts. He has feelings. He has perspectives. He has empathy. He likes things. He hates things. He probably jerks off to fucking furry porn. I don't know. I'm just making up stuff. So when he does a game show, it's like, wow, it was kind of cruel when the guy didn't get the money. But then you have the super soulless, non-human corporation of CBS or whatever running Survivor, and all of a sudden, oh, somebody didn't win that event. I don't care because they were just playing. They were just against this amorphous thing that doesn't exist. It's just CBS. It's not a person. It's not a human being. It doesn't have any rights. Funny enough, it has more rights than us. So you know what I mean? I feel like that's probably why. What is he jerks off the what? I don't know what you're talking about. Pop in this MrBeast video, the guy would win $100,000 after each challenge he won and could tap out. Yeah, I bet. I'm sure that's true. I'm just saying that, like, I still feel, yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, I mean, I think that's why people get a little bit more sensitive about it, because MrBeast is a person and these corporations are not.
The last 40 days, you know, MrBeast's video presumably just took a few days. And the guy got $100,000, whereas almost every loser of Survivor, even if they lose it like 30 days, get fucking nothing. It's a tragic loss.
I think they get like $1,000 a week or something. At least that's how it works on Big Brother. But it's nothing crazy.
So obviously MrBeast isn't doing something unheard of or particularly morally wrong here. It happens literally all the time, and I like it. I like game shows. So we have to ask, as an audience of this kind of tweet, you know, what's going on here? What's happening? And I really genuinely believe that the answer is that MrBeast is just kind of good at his job. This person is talking about him like he's evil, right? Like he's doing an evil thing. But in doing so, they're like buying into the Beast fiction, that this is all crazy and strange, and that MrBeast is personally doing all these crazy things, when actually it's just a fairly large corporation putting on a game show, right? MrBeast is really, really good at making his audience feel like what's happening on the screen is intense and important, and that makes some percentage of his audience hate him, and I think that's kind of awesome.
Okay, cool. I mean, the take is fine. I wonder, people got upset with that take, apparently. Let's see what the response is.
So some people are disagreeing with my MrBeast video that I just made. Okay. I think one of people's favorite or perhaps least favorite things...
Well, I think that's because people like lefties hate MrBeast, right? They think he's a real scum fuck of the universe kind of a guy. It's probably why they're disagreeing, no?
About this channel is how responsive I am to criticisms. Actually, leave your opinion down in the comments. Should I stop doing this thing where I read comments and then respond to the general gist of them? I'm genuinely curious what you think. At any rate, in my last video, I said something like, MrBeast was just doing a game show. Nobody generally critiques game shows all that much, so I'm not sure what the big deal is here. And a good number of people, like a few comments, were like, yeah, I think game shows are wrong. I think they're exploitive. I think it's bad to give people rewards of money they need to do tasks on television. Now,
yeah, sure. I understand that. At the same time, what do you think is going to happen? Like, then nobody gets money. That's just the reality. The unfortunate reality of the world is that people are selfish, and nobody really does charity without getting something in return. Even us, right? We do it because we get, even if it's just because we feel nice, we do it for something. On these game shows, they need to make money. So they're like, yeah, we'll give these people money, but only if we make money. So people have to tune in. We have to get advertisers. We have to get this. We have to get that. Yeah, that's why it happens. It's the unfortunate reality of the world that sometimes charity only happens because people can make money off of being charitable. So, or giving away money. Maybe they wouldn't call it charity, but you get my point.
Now, of course, I see your point. Game shows are a project emergent from capitalism. The fact that people need money is certainly relevant to why people go on game shows. But at the end of the day, yeah, I just kind of disagree with you. I just don't think game shows are all that bad. I think they're basically fine. From my perspective, I'd like to go on a game show. Like, if I was fit enough to go on Ninja Warrior or smart enough to go on Jeopardy, I'd love to do that, and I'd love to try to make some money on those shows. Like, that would be so fun and cool. Do game shows emerge from capitalism? Yes. But I'd personally say they're one of the least problematic aspects of capitalism. You know, the person who went on that MrBeast show got to go on one of the biggest YouTube channels, probably a YouTube channel he loves. Everyone in the comments
I can't believe that Little Joel is glazing the fuck out of MrBeast. He wants to be on MrBeast so bad.
Loves him. He got to do these crazy obstacle courses that are really neat, and he got $100,000 from it. Now, if you think that this was like demeaning to him, that he actually hated doing all those obstacle courses and just did it for the money and actually hates it and that he's just a rat in a cage, yes, I can see why you'd find that exploitive, but I find that a little bit implausible. Like, he probably was excited to go on the show and really wanted to do the different things, and certainly many people would be excited to do it. All in all, game shows are one extremely rare way for people to make money under capitalist exploitation, and I'd say it's like perhaps the least problematic way, the way that most people would be okay with. I think going to work at Amazon every day is about 300 times more exploitive than going on Ninja
Probably
Warrior or Jeopardy or Wipeout or indeed MrBeast's show. As I say in the video, I think the main reason people get way more mad at MrBeast than at these other shows is largely for aesthetic reasons. And that's fine. You can find MrBeast's channel distasteful for aesthetic reasons. I'm not the aesthetic chief, but personally, when I watch the show, when I watch MrBeast's last video, I just saw a game show and was like, okay, well, that's okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Sure.
But yeah, feel free to disagree or opine in the comments.
Cool. Yeah, I guess I agree. Cool beans.